facilities there, but of course all the crowds expected right now are inside the stadium waiting for the countdown. But most of the crowds in the 9 days of competition, there will be several here of course because they've got two major activities, the curling and of course the sledge hockey as well. But most of the crowds will be shifting their attention from the coastal cluster to the Rosa Couture and the mountain cluster, where the medal ceremonies plaza is now based. It's moved away from the coastal cluster up to the mountains and up to Rosa Couture, and it's the most magnificent setting there. All new buildings, but they're so beautifully constructed, and they fill a lot of the heritage slots up there in the valley. It's just a wonderful place, right by the river, and fantastic. A beautiful new resort above Krasnodar Polyana, getting a lot of attention over the next 9 days, that's for sure.
What you can perhaps make out is a slight rain, not quite a drizzle, just a little bit of moisture, but Mother Nature and Old Man Winter have combined to give us some glorious weather here, and certainly inside Fisht Stadium, the lucky 40,000 or so will be well protected. And while tonight's festivities will celebrate the rich cultural history, bold Russian heritage, and the Winter Paralympians who have battled bravely and trained tirelessly to reach this pinnacle of their respective disciplines, make no mistake, this is also a gold and silver and bronze opportunity to blaze a new trail of triumph and creativity into the future of the Krasnodar, the third largest region in Russia. Maybe tonight's memorable peek into this region's rich past will inspire Sochi's next superstar. This area's most famous citizens include 2010 winner of the Nobel Prize for Physics, Andree-Anne Gingras-Roy, and tennis superstar Maria Sharapova.
The Fisht Stadium, we're inside it now, and there's not much time before the opening itself. And certainly the crowd are getting very, very excited. It's going to be used for major sports events in the future, but right now it's equipped with some of the most spectacular machinery and systems, providing the biggest and most dramatic theatrical opportunities ever created. I tell you, in the language of circus, it is often said that you can attend the greatest show on earth when you go to a circus. I can tell you now, believe me, this is definitely going to be the greatest show on earth. You can see the clock there, 5:43:42, it's the countdown, and the crowd inside the Fisht Stadium are very, very aware that they're going to see something very, very special over the next couple of hours. They've heard about it, they know about it. The hoists and the bridges and the lighting systems and sound systems and projection technology will definitely impress everyone, both here and at home.
The 40,000 lucky enough to see this live inside Fisht Stadium, along with the nearly $2 billion estimated to see the Paralympics contested over the next 10 days. Yes, this will be a distinctly Russian salute to the human condition and the human spirit. The performers are very much of the people. The talented pan-Russian choir is here. 376 singers from all over Russia will stir the worldwide audience. 150 of this evening's performers have an impairment. Right at the top, pop star Yulia Samoylova. Operatic diva Maria Guleghina is among the world's great sopranos. An honorary International Paralympic Committee board member, she will perform Lemontov's poetic classic Cossack Lullaby. Then you'll see 126 performers miraculously present a human Russian flag.
There are a couple of mascots, the Paralympic mascots, the Ray of Light and Snowflake they're called. And well, they all provide the huge inspiration for light themes, from very bright sunlight to the chilling, cool blues, greys and whites of ice and snow. That will be prevailing around here from significant early times right the way through. The themes will be multicolored. The colored tubes, like organ pipes that are hanging from the ceiling of the stadium. They'll provide an extraordinary visual kaleidoscope of effects as they're raised and lowered throughout the ceremony. It's going to be something very, very special. Just over 3.5 minutes left to go before the countdown to the opening ceremony.
This is about culture and history, sure, but it's really about these uber-talented athletes performing. From a 14-year-old Australian snowboarder nicknamed Tutters to a 63 years young wheelchair curler. All the athletes will be front and center over the next 10 days, and choice seating right off stage tonight puts them all front and center here for this celebration. 3 countries making their Paralympic Winter Games debut. We'll tell you about them as the flags are presented. The immensely popular ice sledge hockey event, well represented tonight. More than 25% of all Paralympians are represented by the players in the sledge hockey tournament. Among the great individual battles we'll be following at these Paralympics, the USA's Amy Purdy and Vivian Mentel of the Netherlands in adaptive snowboarding.
Well, as you just take in this amazing vista, and of course the atmosphere building, the crowd, whether they're at ground level or high up in the panoramic seats, what many of them probably won't even realize at the moment, they're going to be treated to a center stage extravaganza of projection, making the whole stadium become a totally different place. Throughout the whole ceremony it's going to look different. Center stage is at times an iceberg, it can be a magical forest or a Rubik's cube of shapes, color, and lots of excitement.
You can see the countdown, and we're getting closer. Among the dignitaries, taking great pride in making this historic and glorious Paralympics happen here in Sochi, there are here and soon to be heard from Russian Federation President Vladimir Putin and International Paralympic Committee President Sir Philip Craven.
Just a little over 1 minute you can see on the screens there before the opening ceremony begins, and a little bit of Mexico comes here to Sochi. As you can see, the wave, the ever-present wave, gets underway. It's certainly an extraordinary experience. See all the machinery, and now
welcome to the 2014 Sochi Paralympic Winter Games opening ceremony. For the next 2 hours, you will be drawn in, entertained, wowed, and amazed for sure. Fisht Stadium in the coastal cluster on the Black Sea, clearly the centerpiece of the sporting world tonight.
the Fisht Stadium is bursting with excitement and anticipation for another wonderful evening of creativity and celebration. The Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games begin in a few seconds. The Firebird, a magical glowing bird from a faraway land, is a symbol of wealth and happiness. Let's follow its journey to Earth. The countdown is complete. We get pyrotechnics.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the opening ceremony of the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games.
Дамы и господа, добро пожаловать на церемонию открытия Паралимпийских зимних игр 2014 года в Сочи.
Ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, and the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Sir Philip Craven.
Дамы и господа, президент Российской Федерации Владимир Путин и президент Международного паралимпийского комитета сэр Филипп Крейвен.
The spirit of sport and the spirit of protocol coming together right after the Firebird. And now, among the most visual of all of tonight's 126 performers right here. These events are marvelous in Russian colors, marching in marvelous synchronicity. This is what I was referring to when we were discussing the Open. Just an absolutely amazing stun of timing, synchronicity, passion, the Russian flag wavering, and all of them smiling. Makes everyone in the audience smiling, and then back to the march.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national flag of the Russian Federation.
Дамы и господа, государственный флаг Российской Федерации.
With the choir waiting patiently to perform.
The flag is carried by Vladimir Spivakov, violinist and conductor.
Флаг несут Владимир Спиваков, скрипач и дирижер.
Also Rima
Rima
Batalova.
Batalova, 13-time Paralympic champion in track and field.
Рима Баталова, 13-кратная паралимпийская чемпионка по легкой атлетике.
Alexei Nemov, 4-time Olympic champion in artistic gymnastics.
Алексей Немов, 4-кратный олимпийский чемпион по спортивной гимнастике.
Valeriy Kupchinsky, 9-time Paralympic champion in cross-country skiing and biathlon.
Валерий Купчинский, 9-кратный паралимпийский чемпион по лыжным гонкам и биатлону.
Vladimir Kisilov, 2-time Paralympic champion in biathlon.
Владимир Киселев, 2-кратный паралимпийский чемпион.
Dina Korzun, theatre and film actress.
Дина Корзун, актриса театра и кино.
Pyotr Boylov, first coach of the Russian Paralympic Games track and field team.
Петр Буйлов, первый тренер паралимпийской сборной команды России по легкой атлетике.
Lyubov Vasilyeva, 4-time Paralympic champion in cross-country skiing and biathlon.
Любовь Васильева, 4-кратная паралимпийская чемпионка по лыжным гонкам и биатлону.
She's the winner of 3 silver and 2 bronze Paralympic medals in cross-country skiing and biathlon, a visually impaired person.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, and for those who can, please stand for the national anthem of the Russian Federation.
Дамы и господа, исполняется гимн Российской Федерации. Просим всех встать.
Well, if you have seen or heard a better rendition of a national anthem, I think you might be just fibbing a little, because that was absolutely stunning. We changed the mood immediately with the glass organ, comprising 36 crystal glasses, played by Andree-Anne Gingras-Roy. She's a multi-instrumentalist who's played with orchestras and at festivals all around the world. Sugar Plum Fairy and the Waltz of the Snowflakes we're going to hear, composed by Tchaikovsky and Marius Petipa's ballet, The Nutcracker, which premiered at the Mariinsky Theatre in 1892. We hear the opening chorus of the Waltz of the Snowflakes. We now have 504 young ballerinas gracefully moving center stage as they dance, create patterns of snowflakes, and finally the feather-like shape of the Paralympic torch. Andree-Anne Gingras-Roy now makes way for a choir of 35 young singers from the Mir Iskutstva Foundation. A Russian musician, Vladislav Teterin, made the charity. You can see gathering on the protocol stage in the background, right underneath the Russian flag, underneath a snowstorm, as the belly dancers enthrall us.
Above, 11 performers inside the spheres. Firebird aerialists and 10 cloud acrobats join the show. Everybody wants to get in on this fun. absolutely spectacular choreography with hints of Cirque du Soleil for the young and the old. The 8 large transparent spheres, each measuring nearly 5 meters, 10 balloons, each measuring 9 meters wide. The choir of 35 young people with impairments are on the protocol stage, performing now. The feathers of the firebirds forming a large circle around the snowflake.
Paralympic Torch is created, and still the firebirds rule over the scene. And now the entry.
In Slavic folklore, it's a magical glowing bird from a faraway land, symbol of wealth and happiness.
Gymnastic ability being inside these extraordinary transparent spheres. 5 meters they are. 10 balloons, 9 meters wide, and there is the biggest snow ball we've ever seen.
If you've ever wanted to squeeze inside a snow globe, this is what it might feel like to be inside. Achieved international fame with his score for the Firebird, a sensation when it was first performed by the Ballets Russes in Paris in 1910. A century ago.
dramatic music, dramatic theme, and dramatic effect as the Firebirds still on the journey. Again through the snow and the wind and through Christmas trees, around Christmas trees, and into now different areas, different experiences of life.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the athletes of the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games.
Now for one of the most emotional times.
Поприветствуем спортсменов-участников Паралимпийских зимних игр 2014 года в Сочи.
Through this magnificent forest of light, lights that change with each country's colors, enter the athletes.
And they enter from under the stage. A real surprise for so many, although we saw the ice organ coming from the base area of the stage. No one expects to see every athlete come through the floor, through the base, but that's where they're coming, through the light. And in just a couple of moments, we'll welcome the 45 teams that are represented here in just a couple of moments.
Australia.
So Australia is the first, and the flag bearer, Cameron Rallis Rabula, is representing. What a wonderful, wonderful experience from all these fantastic athletes from Geelong in Victoria. And of course, so many representatives here from Australia for this one. They've won in all 28 medals at Paralympic Winter Games in alpine skiing mostly. Michael Milton is Australia's most successful Winter Paralympian with 6 gold medals, 11 medals in total. They're actually wearing a black armband, you can see, and that, in fact, to celebrate the life of Matt Robinson, in memory of him, a snowboarder who died just last month after a training accident in Spain. His memorial service, in fact, is being held today in Perth. It's a wonderful, wonderful moment.
Now Austria and their flag bearer, Philipp Bonadiemen. Austria is one of the traditional powerhouses of the Paralympic Winter Games. They have won 102 gold medals, second only to Norway's 134. Success in alpine skiing has been common for Austria. They've won 88 golds in that sport. There are 3 gold medals in Vancouver in 2010. Their lowest Winter Games tally were all won in alpine skiing. So you know they're going to be working hard on the hills of the Caucasus to regain their power and their perch atop this discipline. It must be quite a sight for these athletes to witness the beginning of the ceremony and to see the crowd. You can see the wonder in the eyes of the athletes.
Andorra, squeezed between Spain and France, of course. Alpine skiers Xavier Barrios and Miguel Longueras became Andorra's first Winter Paralympians when they competed in 2002 in Salt Lake City. We have here the Andorran flag carrier Xavier Fernandez, and
Argentina.
Based in
Argentina.
Argentina's flag bearer Pablo Javier Robledo. Their blues blending nicely with the natural blues. Of course, that's part of the idea of the hanging globes. Argentina making its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in 2010 when alpine skiers Leonardo Martinez and Juan Ignacio Maggi competed in the men's giant slalom sitting event. Argentina has yet to medal in this event. You know, one of those athletes, one of those incredible athletes would love to be the first. the iPhones prevalent everywhere these days.
Armenia.
Armenia.
We now have Armenia getting a great cheer, I have to say. Mir Avanesyan competed in alpine skiing in 3 editions of the Paralympic Winter Games in 98, 2006 and 2010. He also competed in sailing at the 2000 Paralympic Games in Sydney. He is the flag carrier. Isn't that a wonderful moment for the 32-year-old Mir Avanesyan of
Belarus.
Armenia?
Республика Беларусь.
And you see the colors changing everywhere at Belarus, and their flag bearer, Yadviha Skoropahataya. Belarus first participated at the Paralympic Winter Games in 1994, won its first 2 medals in 2002 in Salt Lake City, gold and silver for Yadviha Skoropahataya in cross-country skiing. Certainly he's coming back with experience and with an eye on more hardware.
Belgium.
The Belgium
Бельгия.
have won 1 medal at the Paralympic Winter Games, a bronze by alpine skier Willy Mercier in the men's Super G B1 event. That was in 1994. In 2010 at the Paralympic Winter Games, Belgium were represented by alpine skier Natasha de Troyer, finished in the top 8 in 4 separate visually impaired events. She didn't manage to pick up a medal, but we've got Denis Kohler is the flag carrier.
Bulgaria.
Болгария.
Bulgaria, indeed, the flag bearers, Svetoslav Georgiev. Bulgaria made its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in 1994. Bulgaria has participated in cross-country events at every Paralympic Winter Games edition since 94. The only other sport Bulgaria has competed in is biathlon in 2006 in Torino. Another country yet to medal.
You can see once again the flags of each country represented in the
Bosnia
colours
and
of
Herzegovina.
the tubes that are
Bosnia
coming
и
down.
Герцеговина.
So, Bosnia and Herzegovina, again another big cheer for them. And the alpine skier Niaz Nemic was Bosnia and Herzegovina's first participant in the Paralympic Winter Games. Finished 39th in both the men's slalom standing and the men's giant slalom standing in 2010 in Vancouver. In fact, Bosnia and Herzegovina's flag carrier is Ilma Kazazic.
Brazil.
Бразилия.
Brazil and their flag bearer Andrea Pereira. He became the first Brazilian athlete to ever qualify for a Paralympics. Brazil making its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi right now. Pereira was encouraged to try snowboarding by friends who were already involved in the sport. His sporting philosophy, Pereira says, the mind commands and the body obeys.
Great Britain.
So Great Britain alpine skiers Richard Burt and Matthew Stockford have both won 4 medals at the Paralympic Winter Games, the most by British athletes. Great Britain's most recent medal was the silver claimed by wheelchair curling team in Turin in 2006. Millie Knight, the very young Millie Knight, is the flag carrier. I think she's actually just 15 years old.
Germany.
Германия.
Germany and their flag bearer Andrea Rothfuss. They've totaled 221 medals, so as we discussed some countries searching for their first, this country certainly not there. They are veterans at the bottom of the hill, veterans of being on top. Alpine skier Gerd Schoenfelder has won 16 gold medals and 22 total at the Paralympic Winter Games, most by any athlete in a single sport. Schoenfelder, the only woman,
Greece.
the only athlete to have won gold in each of
Grecia.
6 Paralympic Winter Games from 92 until 2010.
Eftimios Kalaras leads the way as the flag carrier for Greece. And the alpine skier Paraskevi Christodoulopoulou recorded Greece's best result in Vancouver in 2010, finishing in 16th place in the women's standing giant slalom. Greece have great ambitions in this particular event here in Sochi.
Denmark.
Dania.
Denmark and Ulrik Nivold, the flag bearer. The first Danish athlete to win a medal at the Paralympic Winter Games was alpine skier Lars Nielsen, who won a silver medal in Teen Albertville in 1992. In total, the Danes have won a total of 6. 3 in 94, 6 total Paralympic Winter Games medals.
Islamic Republic of Iran.
Iran.
With the Islamic Republic of Iran represented here by Sadeh Kalhor. I'm just struggling to find the name, but flag carrier Kalhor of Iran.
Iceland.
Исландия.
Iceland and Erna Fredriksdottir, alpine skier Irma Fredriksdottir, Iceland's sole representative at the 2010 Paralympic Winter Games in Vancouver, competing in the women's giant slalom and slalom sitting events. She has some teammates along with her this time, eager and enthused. Again, Iceland also looking for their first Paralympic Winter Games medal.
Spain.
And the Spanish
Испания.
again get a great roar of approval from the crowd here. Jon Santagana Maistekui is the flag bearer. And you have to say they look absolutely fantastic in those beautiful red uniforms, the tracksuits. Stunning. Spain has won 35 of its 38 medals at the Paralympic Winter Games in alpine skiing, including all 14 gold medals. Alpine skier Eric Bellalong is Spain's most decorated winter Paralympian. Total of 8 medals, including
Italy.
5 gold.
Italia.
Italy's flag bearer Andrea Chiarotti, a veteran of many Olympics as an ice sledge hockey player. The former star forward was an able-bodied hockey player, one of the pioneers of Italy's ice sledge hockey team, which made its Paralympic debut when it hosted the Torino 2006 Games. After failing to win a medal in Turin in 2006, 4 years later, one of their stars, Nordic skier Francesca Porcelato, became the first Italian athlete to win summer and winter Paralympic gold medals.
Kazakhstan.
Kazakhstan, and well, they have an extraordinary record. Yulia Omarov, the Nordic skiing competitor, is the flag carrier. They're one of only 2 nations, the other being Liechtenstein, to have won a medal at the Paralympic Winter Games without having won a medal at the Paralympic Games themselves. Cross-country skier Lubov Rovdive won a silver medal in the women's 10-kilometer classic B2 event in Lillehammer in '94.
Canada.
Канада.
Canada led out by their flag bearer Sonia Godot. enjoying their most successful Paralympic Winter Games back in Vancouver. The hosts claimed a total of 19 medals, including 10 gold. And the sledge hockey team is hoping to put together what would be a winter triple golden experience. In the Sochi Olympics, the Canadian men and women took gold, and this team's ice sledge hockey team with an excellent chance at winning gold as well. They are the #1 seed coming in, the Canadian ice sledge hockey team.
People's Republic of China.
Китайская Народная Республика.
The People's Republic of China, led out by Tianye. China made its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in Salt Lake City in 2002. Cross-country skier Peng Yuanyuan finished 5th in the women's 5-kilometer classic standing in Vancouver in 2010. Everywhere they go, the Chinese are expanding with great ambition.
Mexico.
Мексика.
Mexico's flag bearer is Olesya Vladykina. Mexico's strongest sport at the Paralympic Winter Games has been alpine skiing, thanks to this man. Penaloza finished 26th in giant slalom, 33rd in slalom and sitting alpine skiing events in Vancouver in 2010.
Mongolia.
Mongolia,
Mongolia.
led out by Ganbold Batmo, made their debut in the Paralympic Winter Games in 2006. On that occasion, Sukbata Nyama competed in cross-country skiing. Mongolia.
Netherlands.
Нидерланды.
The Netherlands flag bearer, Vivian Mantel-Spee. All of the 10 medals won by the Netherlands at the Paralympic Winter Games belong to Marjorie van de Bont. She won 2 gold, 4 silver, and 4 bronze in cross-country skiing and biathlon. In 2010, the Netherlands were represented by alpine skier Kees Jan van der Klooster. I mentioned Vivian Mantel will be going up against the USA's Amy Purdy in what we expect to be a memorable snowboarding battle.
New Zealand.
Новая Зеландия.
New Zealand's only medal in Vancouver in 2010 was won by Adam Hall. He claimed the victory in the men's slalom standing event. Well, guess what? He's been rewarded. He's taking the flag. He is the flag bearer for New Zealand. Won all 27 medals in the Paralympic Winter Games in alpine skiing. Patrick Cooper has won 4 gold medals, the most by any New Zealand athlete. Also the only New Zealand athlete to have won medals at 3 editions of the Paralympic Winter Games. New Zealand.
Norway.
Норвегия.
You see the colors shift to the familiar Norwegian colors. Flag bearer Marianne Martinsen. Norway, one of 6 nations to have competed at all 10 previous editions of the Paralympic Winter Games. And Norway, you'd think them a smaller nation, but they have dominated over the years, hauling away 315 medals in total in their 10 previous Paralympic Winter Games. We know all about hauling away the medals.
Poland.
Польша.
Maciej Kreso is the athlete carrying the flag. Poland, well, they've had a great record. They've won at least one medal at every Paralympic Winter Games since 1984. Poland's most successful winter Paralympian is Marcin Kos, who won 4 gold medals and 7 total medals in cross-country skiing from 88 to 94. Cross-country skiing provided all 11 of Poland's gold medals won at the Paralympic Winter Games. Don't they look splendid in those wonderful, wonderful uniforms, those tracksuits? And they really complement the scenery around them, those beautiful bells, well, in fact, the tubular bells that are now painted beautifully white and red.
And a foreshadowing of the next Paralympic Winter Games in Pyeongchang. Korea's flag bearer, Jung Sung-kwan. People call him the fastest ice sledge hockey player on earth. 28-year-old forward, a rising star. He says that ice sledge hockey is the flower of the Paralympic Winter Games, so I feel a bit of pressure from this being the flag bearer, but also very honored. And boy, they get right into it, opening up the sledge hockey tournament against the host Russians, who have come a long way. We'll talk more about them here at the end of this parade.
Romania.
Romania's first Paralympic Winter Games participation came in Vancouver in 2010. Alpine skier Laura Belanu competed in giant slalom and slalom standing events, and guess what? She's actually carrying the flag. Well done, Laura.
Serbia.
Serbia's flag bearer, Yugoslav Milosevic. Serbia made its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in Vancouver in 2010. This then their second go-round. Alpine skier Jasmin Bambur competed in 4 events in alpine skiing. Serbia also hunting their first Paralympic Winter Games medal.
Slovakia.
Jakub Krako is the flag carrier, and he's excited, isn't he? A good big wave and a kiss to the crowd. It's all so popular when the fans are watching. All 6 of Slovakia's Paralympic Winter Games gold medals came in Vancouver in 2010. 6 were split evenly by 2 alpine skiers, Jakub Krako, the flag carrier, and Henrietta Farkasova. Alpine skier Josef Nistina is Slovakia's most decorated winter Paralympian. He's won 8 medals, 5 silver and 3 bronze in his career. It's big ambitions for Slovakia.
Slovenia.
Slovenia's flag bearer, Gal Jakic, alpine skier, finishing 29th in the slalom sitting event in Vancouver in 2010. You know he wants to come back here and improve on that result. Again, Slovenia among the countries yet to win a medal.
United States of America.
Соединенные Штаты Америки.
The USA, United States of America, Jonathan Lujan, carrying the red, white, and blue. The United States has competed in every edition of the Paralympic Winter Games, winning medals in every one apart from the first games in 1976. Their most successful games came in 1994 in Lillehammer, where they won 24 gold, 12 silver, and 7 bronze. In recent Paralympics, though, it has been lean, averaging 38 medals in 6 Paralympics from 1984 to 2002, but totaling just 25 in the last 2 Paralympics. You know, the USA wants to come in here and make a big statement, and they appear to have a chance to do just that. One of the teams will be following very closely over the next 10 days.
Turkey.
So we've come from one of the most successful teams to a team making its debut here. Debut for the Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi for Turkey. And the flag carrier, Mehmet Cekic. Of course, near neighbours, you can almost see them from across the Black Sea. I am joking, but it's just across the water from us. And I'm sure they'll be delighted to be here and celebrate their first appearance at the Paralympic Winter Games. Turkey.
Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan's flag bearer, Ramil Gayazov, an alpine skier. Another one of the 3 countries making their Paralympic Winter Games debut. Ramil Gayazov hoping to be a part of a first medal winning team here in Sochi.
Ukraine.
Ukraina.
Mikhailo Tkachenko is the flag carrier for Ukraine. They get a huge round of applause. Ukraine's most successful Paralympic Winter Games athlete is Olena Mokerova. She won 5 golds, 5 silver and 5 bronze medals in cross-country skiing and biathlon. And of course, cross-country will be one of the sports that Ukraine will be certainly targeting.
Finland's flag bearer, Katja Saarinen. Finland has won a total of 161 medals in cross-country skiing alone, the most by any nation at the Paralympic Winter Games. Hugo Grip has won 10 golds and 15 in total in cross-country skiing and biathlon, the most by a Finnish athlete at the Paralympic Winter Games.
France.
Francia.
So Vincent Gauthier-Manuel is the flag carrier for France. They won 6 medals in 2010, all in alpine skiing, including 1 gold medal for Nicolas Berigny in the men's Super G visually impaired. Bernard Baudien is France's most successful athlete at the Paralympic Winter Games. He has won 6 gold medals and 11 in total in alpine skiing. That was from the mid-70s to the mid-90s, 20-year career. France, again, have great ambitions.
Croatia and their flag bearer, the alpine skier Dino Sokolovic. Croatia making its Paralympic Winter Games debut back in Salt Lake City in 2002. Their best performance, an 8th in the women's event, the women's slalom in Salt Lake City, and again, Croatia hunting a first medal of any kind at a Paralympic Winter Games.
Czech Republic.
Czechia.
Well, the crowd here will certainly enjoy the fact that there's more red, white and blue. Of course, the same colours as the Russian flag in different elements and patterns, for the Czech Republic have won at least one medal at all 5 Paralympic Winter Games in which it's participated. That was from 1994 to 2010, best haul of 7 medals in 1998. Alpine skier Katarina Tepler won 5 gold medals across the 98 to 2002 Winter Games. Stanislav Loska, the flag carrier. And there you can see Mr. Craven and of course President Putin really
Chile.
enjoying
Chile.
the parade of the athletes.
Chile and Jorge Migueles, alpine skier. Chile made its debut at the Paralympic Winter Games in Salt Lake City. It was represented by 2 alpine skiers in Vancouver in 2010. You can see the team growing, again, growing but yet to medal. Imagine what one of those young men will feel like if they head back to Chile with the nation's first ever Paralympic Winter Games medal.
Switzerland.
Швейцария.
Well, you'd expect the Swiss to be doing well, wouldn't you? In 2010, Christoph Kunz won Switzerland's only gold medal in the men's alpine skiing downhill sitting event. He also won silver in the giant slalom sitting event in Vancouver. Guess what? He's now leading the way with the flag. There he is. There is Christoph Kunz. Alpine skiers Rolf Heinzmann and Hans Bern have both won 14 Winter Paralympic medals, the most by Swiss athletes. Heinzmann's 12 gold medals is also a Swiss record. Switzerland again, oh look at this, a little bit of a wheelie. Formula One, it'll be coming here for real later on, of course, in Sochi. But here, on the track in the middle of the park.
A tough act for the Swede flag holder to follow. Flag bearer Halle Ljungnell, a wheelchair curler. Sweden hosted its first Paralympic Winter Games back in 1976 and is one of only 6 nations to have appeared at every edition of the Games. Their most successful Winter Paralympic athlete is cross-country skier Birgitta Sund, who won 6 medals, all of them gold. Sweden, 95 total Paralympic Winter Games medals.
Japan.
Япония.
Another very popular team have been gathering in experience and expertise over many years now, hosted it twice before. Shoko Oto leads the way. He's the flag carrier for Japan, one of 6 nations to have participated in all 10 previous editions of the Paralympic Winter Games. Alpine skier Kuniko Obinata has competed in 5 Paralympic Winter Games. That was up until 2010. During that time, she won 10 medals, including 2 gold medals, making her the most successful Japanese athlete at the Paralympic Winter Games. Guess what? You all know, don't you, what's coming next? You can feel the crescendo amongst the crowd. It is getting deafeningly loud here.
Российская Федерация.
And the Russian Federation, led by Valeriy Redkozubov. They are absolutely brought in with a crescendo of noise. It's stunning. You've got to be affected by this if you're one of those athletes, I tell you. I've got a lump in my throat telling you about it. It's extraordinary atmosphere. Russia made their debut at the 1994 Games in Lillehammer. Of the 10 gold medals they won in Lillehammer, 8 of them came in Nordic skiing, sport that provides all but 2 of their 54 gold medals won to date. The only gold medals won outside of Nordic skiing, won by alpine skier Alexei Moshkin, who won the men's Super G in '94 and the giant slalom. Russia's most successful games in terms of gold medals won was in 2006 Games in Turin. Visually impaired Nordic skier Lyubov Vasilyeva won 2 individual and 1 relay gold, helping Russia to a total of 33 medals, including 13 gold. In Vancouver, 17-year-old Nordic skier Mikalina Lisova won 4 individual medals, 2 silver and 2 bronze, and a gold in the women's 3 by 2.5 kilometer relay. It is stunning here. You realize that I'm almost shouting against myself here because it is so noisy inside this fabulously packed 40,000 crowd Fisht Stadium. It's a remarkable feeling. How proud Mr. Putin must be, not only of the team, but only, of course, also of all the members of the teams that have gone into building this amazing facility. It is quite phenomenal. You think I'm excited, you've got to wait for another 9 days to hear me really excited, I tell you. It's fantastic.
I think there's plenty of applause also for Mr. Putin and everyone here for the 2,500 Sochi volunteers who are every bit as important as the athletes to making a successful and memorable games. Certainly the raucous celebration goes out to the Russian Paralympians and also all the volunteers. It is a community celebration, one with another here.
You can see that all the athletes have now been sat down just below the height of the actual stage itself, so they will get a fantastic view of all the proceedings, the protocol, the arrival of the torch, the lifting up the Paralympic flag. It is something very, very special. It's red, white and blue here, that is for sure. Not so much blue, more red hot, I would say, but certainly these Paralympian athletes will never forget this moment in their whole lives. It doesn't matter how they perform, no question, this is a moment they will treasure and cherish.
But there is no doubt that this emotion will fuel them on their athletic field, whatever that may be. There's a little bit of pressure, certainly being the home nation, the host nation, but it also brings a tremendous lift from the crowd, and it does raise these tremendous athletes to often memorable personal bests. And the sledge hockey team, the third seed here, hoping to do well and maybe break through the Canadian and USA stronghold.
Спортсмены Паралимпийских зимних игр 2014 года в Сочи.
Now we downshift again from the celebration of the athletes. You know, the word Paralympic derives from a Greek para, meaning alongside, and the word Olympic. It illustrates how the Paralympics are the parallel games to the Olympics, the two movements existing side by side. And now we get back to the second flight of the Firebird. Woodland magic creatures and sprint birds guide the athletes to their seating areas. That has happened. Now the Magic Forest is a place where dreams are born and incredible journeys begin.
We are now on a frozen lake. Extraordinary dance movements by wheelchair performers, and just look at the way in which the apparent movement of the snow on the lake is making extraordinary patterns. Yulia Samoylova.
Жизнь приходим мы, как цветы любви, тянемся к теплу, свету и добру. Все мы дети солнца, я и ты. Бывает всякое, мой друг. все пройти.
Again, the projections, just look at it, isolating that central portion. The ice flow is now detached. A remarkable vista of beauty, with the blues and the greens and the turquoises matched against the colourful firebirds as they descend onto the ice. 300 ice fishermen, including graceful wheelchair dancers here. Stunning display of mass choreography, painting magical patterns on the ice. Beautiful Russian symbols and signs. Some choreography which is quite transfixing. Yulia Samoylova was actually a winner of the reality TV show Factor A. And that song she's just sung, If You Need a Friend, composed by Gregorio Constantino, has been wonderfully well received here in Russia. It's a very, very popular song, and you can understand why it's now being used in this wonderful celebration. The fishermen now create magical patterns across the ice, including this maze. An emotional Yulia looks over the top of what is an absolutely amazing, amazing pattern. Is it a deer? Are there lights? the aurora borealis, the northern lights, appearing from the high latitudes on dark nights in these parts, really has given us the theme, and what an extraordinary, beautiful setting. Emotion from every side of this stadium, inside and outside, big tears of joy. The Stoke Mandeville Hospital in 1948 was the venue for the first of the Paralympic Games.
The origins of the Paralympic movement can be traced back to these 1948 Stoke Mandeville Games held in a small English village when 16 ex-servicemen and women competed in wheelchair archery. The games were the creation of Sir Ludwig Guttmann, an extraordinary scientist who introduced a whole new approach to treating and empowering war veterans with spinal cord injuries. The first Paralympic Games took place in Rome, Italy in 1960. In 1976, the first Paralympic Winter Games were held in Sweden, where 17 nations participated. The Paralympic motto, Spirit in Motion, of course, was introduced at the 2004 Paralympic Games in Athens.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the President of the Sochi 2014 Organising Committee, Dmitriy Chernyshenko, and the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Sir Philip Craven.
Дамы и господа, поприветствуем президента Оргкомитета Сочи 2014 Дмитрия Чернышенко и президента Международного паралимпийского комитета сэра Филиппа Крейвена.
So Dmitriy Chernyshenko, the president of the Sochi 2014 Organizing Committee, is
Дорогие
hugely
друзья,
successful.
добро пожаловать в Сочи! Сегодня мы открываем первые в истории России Паралимпийские игры. Игры, которые станут настоящим праздником спорта и вдохновят миллионы людей на новые свершения. Игры в Сочи дали нам уникальный шанс всего за несколько лет пройти путь, за который у многих ушли десятилетия. Сочи стал первым российским городом, где полностью реализована концепция безбарьерной городской среды, моделью для других городов нашей страны. Все, что было создано к играм, сделано с учетом потребностей людей с инвалидностью. Благодаря Паралимпийским играм началась новая история России, история без барьеров и стереотипов. Паралимпийские игры уже изменили нас и изменили наши отношения к ближним и к самим себе. Вместе мы учимся быть добрее и внимательнее друг к другу. Всего несколько дней назад по всей России зажглись искры паралимпийского огня, чтобы в эти дни объединиться здесь, в Сочи. Этот огонь напомнил нам о паралимпийских идеалах и ценностях. Мужество, целеустремленность, равенство и умение вдохновлять. Мы рады приветствовать в Сочи команды спортсменов. Вы дарите людям уверенность в том, что их возможности безграничны, что каждый способен проявить решимость и удивить весь мир. У нас все готово к началу игр. Тысячи волонтеров специально подготовились к работе на Паралимпийских играх. Внимание болельщиков и телезрителей растет с каждым днем. Спортивные арены ждут своих победителей.
Applause indeed. He was awarded the Order of Honor in recognition of the successful bid that brought the Paralympics to Sochi.
To the front. It's time for the athletes to break down barriers, both on and off the field of play. The Paralympic Winter Games in Sochi will demonstrate the power of sport to unite and inspire the world. This is the beginning of a lasting legacy for Sochi, for Russia, and for the world. And now it's my pleasure to invite the President of the International Paralympic Committee, Sir Philippe Craven, to deliver his speech.
Rossiania. Athletes, officials, distinguished guests, Paralympic sports fans from all over the world. Dobry večer. Dobro pozdravovat v Sochi. The home of the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games. Tonight is a very special occasion. Tonight is proof that what might not seem possible is possible. "30 years ago, when the old Soviet Union declined the opportunity to stage the 1980 Paralympic Games in Moscow, the prospect of Russia staging its first Paralympic Games was nothing but a dream. But dreams do come true, and since winning the Games 7 years ago, this part of Russia has undergone a monumental transformation. However, the biggest transformation for this country is still yet to come. In the same way that the city of Sochi has built a barrier-free environment for athletes and officials to enjoy, I call upon all those who experience these games to have barrier-free minds too. For over the coming days, you will watch high-performance sport, showcasing feats of endurance that will surprise you, tremendous skills that will excite you, and examples of human endeavor that will inspire you. The sport you witness here will change you, not just for now, but forever. Special thanks must go to Vladimir Putin and Dmitry Kozak and the entire Russian government, to Dmitriy Chernyshenko's Sochi 2014 team and the thousands of volunteers for not just being our welcoming hosts, but for their desire and commitment to create a magnificent platform upon which change will happen. I would also like to welcome Thomas Bach to his first Paralympic Winter Games as IOC President, and his predecessor Jacques Rague, both of whom have played major roles in the growth of the Paralympic movement. Athletes and officials from a record 45 national Paralympic committees, welcome to the Games. A Games where sport must be the winner. You have superb sporting venues to express your amazing talents and live up to the Paralympic values of determination and courage, inspiration and equality. Together, you are catalysts for change. United as one, you have the ability to change perceptions and alter attitudes like no other. You arrive here as the best prepared athletes ever to attend the Paralympic Winter Games. You will leave as role models, heroes, pioneers, and most of all, proud Paralympians. If London 2012 had its games makers, then you, the Sochi 2014 athletes, volunteers, officials, and staff, you will be the change makers. I wish you all the very best of luck, play fair, and most of all, have fun. It is now my honor to invite the President of the Russian Federation, Vladimir Putin, to declare open the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games.
So an extraordinary emotional moment there as Vladimir Putin comes to the
Зимние
stage.
Паралимпийские игры 2014 года в Сочи объявляю открытыми.
The games are open here in Sochi and the fireworks declare it. It's an most remarkable feeling for all of us. It was emotional before the speeches. It was even more emotional and electric after the speeches. And right now, the world is lit up for another great story.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic flag.
Дамы и господа, Паралимпийский флаг.
The Paralympic flag was first seen at the Athens Games in 2004. It features three asymmetrical crescents known as Agitos, meaning I love in Latin. The crescents are red, green, and blue, the most popular colors of nations' flags, and are arranged in a circular formation as a symbol of the IPC's role in bringing the athletes of the world together. Now enter the Paralympic flag, held by Andrei Strokin, a visually impaired swimmer, 5-time champion of the Paralympic Games. Erik Manonov, 4-time champion and 6-time medalist of Paralympic Games in ski race and biathlon for visually impaired athletes. Margarita Goncharova, 3-time champion of Paralympic Games, multiple-time winner of world and Russian championships of track and field athletics. Alexander Nazarov, the first president of the Paralympic Committee of Russia, stood at the roots of the Paralympic movement in Russia. Due to his active involvement, the Paralympic team of the USSR participated in Paralympic Games for the first time in Seoul. President of the All-Russia Society of the Visually Impaired. Elena Lozko, president of the Federation of Wheelchair Dances, world champion in wheelchair dances. Her name is on the list of Guinness Records as the first champion of this kind of sport. Igor Beryoev, Russian actor performing in theater and film. Igor is one of the founders of Yes, I Am. And Elizabeta Glinka, philanthropist, emergency physician, founder and head of Fair Aid Fund, providing help for people with disabilities. And all the while, the Agitos, colors booming against the blues. An absolutely stunning juxtaposition of colors and really of emotions, and get ready for the biggest send-off you may ever see. These games are about to erupt.
Ladies and gentlemen, as is customary, and for those who can, please stand for the Paralympic anthem.
Дамы и господа, исполняется паралимпийский гимн. Просим всех встать.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome representatives of the Russian delegation to take the Paralympic oaths.
Дамы и господа, встречайте представителей российской делегации для произнесения паралимпийских клятв.
An athlete first swore an oath on behalf of his peers in 1964. An official has taken an oath since 1980. In London 2012, for the first time, a coach joined them in pledging their commitment to the ideals of the Paralympics.
To take the Paralympic oath on behalf of all athletes, Valeriy Redkozubov.
От имени всех спортсменов паралимпийскую клятву дает Валерий Redkozubov.
От имени всех спортсменов я обещаю, что мы будем выступать на этих зимних Паралимпийских играх, уважая и соблюдая правила, по которым они проводятся. В истинно спортивном духе, без применения допинга и других препаратов, во славу спорта и во имя чести своих команд.
To take the Paralympic oath on behalf of all judges, Elena Mokerova.
От имени всех судей паралимпийскую клятву дает Елена Мокерова.
In the name of all the judges and officials, I promise that we shall officiate in these Paralympic Winter Games with complete impartiality, respecting and abiding by the rule, with government in the true spirit of sportsmanship.
To take the Paralympic oath on behalf of all coaches, Alexander Nazarov.
От имени всех тренеров паралимпийскую клятву дает Александр Назаров.
In the name of all coaches and other members of the athlete entourage, I promise that we shall commit ourselves to ensuring that the spirit of sportsmanship and fair play is fully adhered to and upheld in accordance with the fundamental principle of Paralympic movement.
After the pledges and oaths, it's time to the journey of the Firebird 3. Sit back and enjoy the fun.
Pan Russian choir singing an a cappella version of the traditional folk song Mother of Russia. Wonderful, wonderful version of a very traditional folk song. 5 large tables are laid now with plates and glasses. Chairs and benches are set in place by joyful guests. 5 chandeliers descend from above. Everything is made of ice, and the scene is set for a great celebration, a wedding celebration. We've been exposed to some wonderful moments of Russian heritage and history, the colour and excitement. Really, really impressed us, not just with this opening ceremony, the Paralympic Winter Games, but we're going to get a great surprise in a moment. After all the celebration, there's going to be one very, very large intervention. I wonder if you can guess what it might be. Even the plates are made of ice. And mentioning ice, a huge horn lights up, and the image of something quite spectacular draws our attention from the left of screen in just a couple of moments. Quite spectacular. What is that noise? Oh, wow. Russia has a long tradition of icebreakers, the special purpose ships designed to navigate through ice-covered waters. From the earliest days of polar exploration to the construction of the world's largest nuclear-powered icebreaker, due for completion in 2017. Maria Guleghina. For Russians, the word mir holds a special meaning. It translates as peace or world and was the name of the space station that spent 15 years in orbit from 86 to 2001 and came to symbolize the country's space glories. Mir means peace here during this opening ceremony, and just look at the size and the scale of this extraordinary icebreaker as it makes its way across this fantastic stage inside the opening ceremony stadium. The ship is both physically and metaphorically breaking barriers, opening new channels of communication, tracing new paths for mankind. Maria Guleghina is a member of the Honorary Board of the International Paralympic Committee and a Goodwill Ambassador to UNICEF. The ship departs, the ice blocks are assembled to spell out the word in Russian. It means together. The ice blocks moving now with an extraordinary formation. Such wonderful, wonderful discipline that the firebirds come floating over the top of this extraordinary and wonderful vision. There's the words together in ice blocks from Sochi. And again, against that extraordinary translucent ice, floats the Firebirds in brilliant colours of oranges and yellows. Now, a moment that will really, really impress everyone here. The water shimmers and moves the ice once again. A different pattern developing. Every element of technology working in perfect harmony with the human input. The music by Maria Guleghina is Sul filo del pensiero. Appropriately dramatic for this moment of the ceremony. And again, the movement of the water does its business and moves the ice blocks into Agitos, the Paralympian logo.
I am the flame that lights extraordinary athletes. The whole world cannot fail to see their fire. I began as a spark in one man's mind, Ludwig Guttmann. A summer day, 1948, archery on the lawn, the Stoke Mandeville Games were born. The competition that would one day become the Paralympic Games. Stoke Mandeville, forever their spiritual home. I am the flame, bring me back to life. A fire formed from the very core of human endeavor. I am the flame, the light and fire of the Paralympic Games. I pour blinding light on indomitable and pure spirit in motion. I am the flame that protects diversity, equality, and rights. This movement enshrined in its very being sport with no discrimination by politics, religion, economy, disability, gender, sexual orientation, or race. I am the flame of freedom, friendship, and magnificent, extraordinary athletic feats, inspired by one man's respect and belief in the equality of every beautiful, precious, and sacred life. I am the flame, and now I am here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Paralympic Flame.
Дамы и господа, Паралимпийский огонь.
The Firebird finally arrives in Sochi, where snow-capped mountains meet the sunlit shores of the Black Sea. Her mission is complete at the magnificent Fisht Olympic Stadium. Stand by for a spectacular glow.
The Paralympic Flame is carried by Alexei Ashapatov, four-time Paralympic champion in track and field.
Паралимпийский огонь несет Алексей Ашапатов, четырехкратный паралимпийский чемпион по легкой атлетике.
The first torch carrier into the stadium, as in fact the stadium opens up. You can see that there is a channel through which he is able to walk. The sea has just gone back. The beach is there welcoming him into the stadium. And he'll pass it on to the second in just a couple of moments.
Olesya Shapatov with the handoff.
Olga Semyonova, three-time Paralympic champion in track and field.
Ольга Семенова, трехкратная паралимпийская чемпионка по легкой атлетике.
Of course, the choir forming the crowd here have been absolutely magnificent. Just look at the costumes, the amount of time and effort and energy that's gone into making all the costumes as these wonderful athletes of yesteryear.
Taras Kryzhanovsky, three-time Paralympic champion in cross-country skiing.
Тарас Крыжановский, трехкратный паралимпийский чемпион по лыжным гонкам.
Kryzhanovsky with his moment of emotion and triumph. He will pass the torch on to yet another Paralympic champion.
Oksana Savchenko, 8-time Paralympic champion in swimming.
Оксана Савченко, восьмикратная паралимпийская чемпионка по плаванию.
Oksana Savchenko again is the fourth athlete to move with this remarkable torch that actually is
Olesya Vladykina, two-time Paralympic champion in swimming.
Olesya Vladykina, двукратная паралимпийская чемпионка по плаванию.
Vladykina, she takes the torch.
Sergey Shilov,
I was just about to explain that the torch is actually the symbol of the
Sergey
feather
Shilov,
taken from
шестикратный
the bird
паралимпийский чемпион по
that
лыжным
has been flying with
гонкам.
us all evening. The Firebird. And now, as they go towards the exit of the stadium, we know there's something going to be extraordinary once again. The 40,000 craning their necks here inside the stadium to see what is now going to happen. And just listen to the crowd. And there the ice blocks that we've seen escorting the icebreaker. A little down the ramp and into more stardom and fame and just wonderful reward for a marvelous career over the years. The atmosphere again is absolutely electric. All these stars, the marchers, have worked so hard for so long to bring the best that they could to show the world. Oh, and there it is, the cauldron once again in an extraordinary light up of colour. It is quite simply stunning.
So the flame at long last reaches its end, or is it the beginning of the games? For all of these Paralympians, more than 500. 72 events await. 45 nations are here, ready to celebrate. And I want you to stand back, open your eyes, and just take this all in. As Sochi lights up once again outside of Fisht Stadium.
It makes its way up through towards the cauldron, and it will now climb the stairs of history right here. Up it goes. It's a spectacular, spectacular start to these games, and it bursts into life. And the pyrotechnics absolutely do the same. Look at the fountains around it. It is the most gloriously colourful, emotional feeling here at the opening of the 2014 Paralympic Winter Games. We are here in great numbers to celebrate, and around the world I'm hoping that you can feel the spirit as well. The Paralympic flames symbolize much more than just a sign that Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games are in session. They are now open, of course they are. It's a flame of hope and ambition, of friendship and fairness. It's the flame of righteousness and achievement against all odds. And most importantly, it's the flame that keeps the heart and spirit of all Paralympians and their families and friends alive and forever grateful for the opportunity to share their passion for life. Let the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games bring us all joy wherever we are in the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having celebrated the start of the Sochi 2014 Paralympic Winter Games with us tonight. This concludes the opening ceremony. Thank you and good night to you all.
Дамы и господа, благодарим вас за то, что сегодня вы вместе с нами приняли участие в старте Паралимпийских зимних игр Сочи 2014. Церемония открытия завершена. Спасибо. Всем доброй ночи.